In the future, almost every household will own a robot. Robots will handle everything from delivering food to picking up trash to walking the dog. Smith is a police officer, but he has a deep prejudice against robots. One morning on his way to work, Smith spots a robot running with a bag. He tackles it to the ground, but then he realizes it was rushing to deliver asthma medicine to its owner. Later, Smith arrives at the precinct. Everyone knows he hates robots, and they can't stop joking about it. After all, no robot has ever committed a crime. Then Smith gets a call. He rushes to USR, the world's largest robotics company. In the lobby, a doctor greets him. He invented the technology and established the 3 laws of robotics. Law 1. A robot may not harm a human, or allow a human to come to harm. Law 2. A robot must obey human orders, unless those orders conflict with Law 1. Law 3. A robot may protect its own existence, as long as it doesn't conflict with the first 2 laws. Now the doctor asks Smith to find out why he killed himself, because the truth is, he's already dead. What Smith saw was just a pre-recorded hologram. The USR CEO assigns Susan to assist Smith in the investigation. Smith turns to Vicky, the company's central AI, to check the surveillance before the doctor's death, but the footage shows nothing. Susan points out the door was locked from the inside. She believes it's a clear suicide, but Smith tests the windows. They're bulletproof glass. No way an old man could break through. With no signs of forced entry, Smith suspects the robot inside the room. Susan insists robots can't harm humans. They're bound by the 3 laws. Just then, a robot leaps out from a pile of junk. It snatches Smith's gun and ignores Susan's direct commands. Then it crashes through the window and escapes. The robot is wounded during its getaway. Susan concludes it must head to the factory for repairs. At the warehouse, rows upon rows of new robots wait to be shipped. Smith took advantage of the fact that robots would not knock him down in order to disobey a command. The rogue robot realizes the danger and reacts, but in seconds, it blends back into the crowd. It even ambushes Smith from behind. Then it slips through the curtains and flees, only to be captured by the backup unit Smith called in. Smith interrogates it. The robot, calling itself Sunny, denies killing the doctor, but shockingly, it can feel emotions like fear and anger. It even claims it can dream. When asked again about the doctor's death, Sunny says the doctor asked him for a favor. Before Smith can press further, the USR CEO arrives. He declares it a mechanical malfunction and takes Sunny away. That night, Smith visits the doctor's home for clues. The demolition schedule says the house will be destroyed at 8 a.m. the next morning. But once Smith enters, the system suddenly reschedules the demolition to 8 p.m., and the machines start tearing the place down immediately. Smith barely makes it out alive. Shaken, he reports back to Susan. He remembers the doctor had been living in the same office where he fell to his death for weeks, and the walls of his home were covered in surveillance gear. Smith suspects the doctor discovered something dangerous about the robots, but Susan insists robots are safe. Their argument ends in frustration. Meanwhile, the new NS5 robots hit the market nationwide. Smith refuses to let go. Reviewing the doctor's holograms, he realizes Sunny's dreams might be the key. He drives back to USR. On the road, 2 massive trucks loaded with robots box him in, front and back. The doors swing open. Dozens of robots stare at him, their chest lights glowing red. They leap out, swarming his car. Smith switches to manual driving and pushes his vehicle to the limit. He manages to force the trucks into a crash lane, but his own car spirals out of control and wrecks. As he crawls out, badly injured, cleanup robots arrive. They erase all traces of the battle. Even his wrecked car turns against him. A mangled robot bursts from the debris and attacks. But as police sirens approach, the robot hurls itself into the flames. Every shred of evidence that robots attacked a human, gone. All that remains is Smith shoving 2 trucks off the road. With no proof, the department suspends him. Meanwhile, Susan prepares to decommission Sunny, but she discovers Sunny has a survival instinct. He also has an extra processor that causes conflict with his positronic brain. This means he can actually disobey the 3 laws. Susan rushes to tell Smith. She also discovers Smith's left arm is mechanical. Years ago, Smith and a young girl crashed into a river. A robot dove in to save them. After calculating survival odds, it chose Smith, ignoring his orders to save the girl first. From that day, Smith has hated robots. The doctor knew this. That's why he entrusted Smith with the case. And that robotic arm Smith carries it was custom built for him by the doctor.